Welcome! Today we're not just learning a few English tips, we are literally building a toolkit. Think of it like a set of high-precision instruments that are going to make everything you say and write sharper, clearer, and just way more powerful. So, you ready to level up? Let's do it! So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to get really good at picking the absolute perfect word for any situation. Then, we'll get into something I call the politeness principle. After that, we're going to supercharge our vocabulary with some seriously high-impact words. And to wrap it all up, we'll learn how to look at a chart and tell the story hidden in the data. All right, first up, choosing the perfect word. This is all about making your message so clear that it's impossible to misunderstand. It really shows you have a true command of the language. Let's start with a classic mix-up that trips a lot of people up. Okay, publish, release, or launch. On the surface, they all kind of mean to make something public, right? But here's the deal. Using the right one in the right context, that's one of those tiny details that makes a massive difference in how fluent and professional you sound. And check this out. Here's the super simple rule. You publish things you can read, like a book, a magazine, or a scientific paper. You release things you experience or use, like a new movie, an album, or a software update. And you launch brand new products and services, usually with a big marketing campaign behind them. See? So simple, but wow, is it effective. Now, let's tackle 3 words that sound kind of similar but are totally worlds apart in meaning. And trust me, mixing these up can lead to some pretty funny situations. I mean, you probably don't want to talk about the antics of the ancient Greeks, right? So here's a quick mental checklist to get it right every single time. If you're talking about deep history, like thousands of years ago, the word is ancient. If you're talking about that valuable old table in your grandmother's house, that's an antique. And if your friend is being silly and goofy to get attention, those are antics. Got it? Good. Let's keep going. Okay, time to grab the next tool from our kit. Now, this one is less about technical meaning and way more about social grace. It's a really simple principle that's going to help you sound so much more natural and polite to native speakers. In English, there's this really strong, kind of unwritten rule. You always put yourself last. It's always Maria and me, never me and Maria. And this isn't just some dusty old grammar rule. It's about sounding considerate and humble, rather than, self-centered. And hey, if you ever get stuck on whether to use me or I, here's a fantastic little trick. Just take the other person out of the sentence for a second. The teacher gave extra homework to me. Yeah, that sounds totally right. The teacher gave extra homework to I. Nope, your brain immediately tells you that's wrong. It's a foolproof test, every time. All right, tool number 3 is a serious power-up for your vocabulary. We're about to look at 6 words that will let you talk about complex ideas with way more nuance and confidence, especially if you're in a professional or academic world. First on our list is spiraling. I love this word because it creates such a powerful mental image. It's not just that a situation is getting worse, it's getting worse in this circular, downward, seemingly unstoppable way, kind of like water going down a drain. It's a really vivid, powerful verb. Next, we have integrity. Now, this is so much more than just being honest. It's about having this deep, internal moral compass that guides everything you do, especially when it's hard or when no one is looking. Calling someone a person of integrity is one of the highest compliments you can give. Habitual is a fantastic adjective. It's perfect for describing a behavior that's become a deep-seated habit. It tells you that this isn't just a one-time thing. It's a consistent, repeated pattern of action, whether that's good or bad. To pacify someone is to calm them down, to soothe their anger. You hear it a lot when talking about conflict resolution. Anything from a parent trying to pacify a crying baby to a government trying to prevent protests. It's all about making things peaceful. So when you call a decision or an action calculated, you're saying it was done with cold, hard logic. It wasn't a gut reaction or based on emotion. It was a planned, strategic move. It's a great word, but just a heads up, it can sometimes carry a little hint of being cunning or even manipulative. And the last word for this section, fabricated. This is a much more powerful and formal word than just saying something is fake or a lie. It implies that something was carefully built, piece by piece, with the specific goal of deceiving someone. It's a serious word for a very serious action. Okay, let's grab our final tool from the kit. And this one is absolutely essential, especially if you're getting ready for any academic tests, like the IELTS. We're going to break down exactly how to look at a chart or a graph and describe what you're seeing, accurately and professionally. Now listen closely, because this is the single most important rule of all, the golden rule. Your job is to be a reporter, not a commentator. You only report the facts you see in the data. You don't guess, you don't give your opinion, and you never, ever try to explain why the numbers went up or down. Just state the facts. That's it. So here's your 4-step playbook. First, scan the whole thing and find the main story. What are the highest points, the lowest? Are there any obvious patterns? Second, and this is a big one, only use the word trend if the data is happening over a period of time. Third, actively compare things. A was twice as high as B. And finally, become obsessed with accuracy. Double and then triple check your numbers. Think of this as your vocabulary cheat sheet for talking about data. So instead of just saying it went up or it went down over and over, you can use more precise, more interesting words. For a huge increase, you could say it soared. If it stays flat for a while, it plateaued. Using this variety makes your analysis sound so much more sophisticated. And this just hammers the point home. You have to be precise. If the chart shows a tiny 1% drop, you can't say the numbers plummeted. And if something shoots up by 500%, calling it a slight rise is just plain wrong. Matching your language to the scale of the change is absolutely key for being credible and getting a good score. So there you have it, a full toolkit to help make your English more precise, more polite, and way more powerful. We've talked about choosing the perfect word, the politeness principle, next level vocabulary, and how to tell the story in data. So my question for you is, which one of these tools are you going to pick up and put to use first? What's the first thing you're going to practice today?